Hey everyone, welcome back. So in today's video, we are going to learn about list. We already know what are data types and what are variables. So in variables, we store a particular value, right? So let's say you want to store multiple values in one variable. So you might be wondering, is that possible? Well, in case of Python, that is possible. How it can be done? Let us jump into Visual Studio Code. So let me create a new file and I will name it as list dot with the extension name .py python. Okay. So let's say we are creating one variable and we are going to name it as list. And if you want to store multiple values onto a variable, well, list will give you hands-on things to store a value into it, right? So here the variable is list, and now we are going to assign the values. In order to assign values onto a list, you just have to create a square bracket, and we are going to write the variables which write the values which we want to store into a list, right? So let's say I say here test. This is my first value. My second value would be hello. Um, Third value we can say it would be Ola, and the last would be in Hindi Namaste. Okay, so these are the four values which we have stored in this particular variable, right? So, okay, so there is a spelling mistake. Okay, let me correct this. Okay, so as you already know that in Python indexing start from zero, right? So the place value of test would be 0, right? Okay. So first of all, the basic operation that we are going to perform right now would be we are first going to print the list as it is. So in order to print anything into the console, what are we using? We are using print and we are just going to write the name of the variable, right? So this is the standard practice that we are following along the video, right? In order to print anything, we are just writing the variable name over there and the print statement, and that will do your work. So let us execute this particular statement. And as you can see, we are getting this output, right? Okay, moving forward. Let us say that you want to print a specific value, right? And as we already know that indexing in Python start from zero, we are just going to write the placeholder value. Let's say you want to print Ola, right? So in this particular case, what would be the placeholder value? It would be 0, 1, and for Ola it would be 2. So when I write 2 over here, my expectation from the console would be that it should print Ola over there, right? Let me close this and run it once again. And as per our expectation, we are getting the output that is Ola over here, right? Moving forward, the second case, right? You might be thinking like we have stored one specific kind of data type over here, right? Now, what if you want to, if I want to store a different kind of data type? As we already know, data types are of string, integer, character, boolean, float, right? And many more. So we are just going to increase the length of the string. Okay. So let us write here. This is a character and this is a boolean. Let us write some integer value 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are going to write some floating values as well, that is 1.5 comma 5.6 and 39.6. All right. Now if I print list over here, we are getting all the values which are there, right? Regardless of the data type that we are printing, we are getting the entire output over there. All right. Moving forward, let us print this particular thing. Like if you want to check what is the placeholder value of 1, right? So one step would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the sixth place we are getting 1, right? So let us try 6, and when we run it, we are getting 1 over here, right? Okay, let me comment this particular thing out, and we are going to create another list over here. So let's say we are going to name it as list 2, and we are going to take two array. Okay, and what is array? Array is a collection of similar kind of data type. Like in case of list, if you can see here, we can store different kind of data types over here, right? But in case of array, we just need to specify this a single kind of data type. If you're storing integer value, then it should be integer. If you're storing a string value, then it should be a string value, right? So first of all, we are going to determine the string structure, the list structure. Okay, and now we are going to store the array values over there. In order to store the array values, we are just going to create two separate brackets for it. And let me define few values over here. So here we would be writing as DC separated by commas, and second would be Marvel, third would be Indie.com, and the second placeholder value which we can create for array would be, it can be anything. We are just writing anything over here. So it would be English, English, Hindi, and the third would be Spanish. Okay. So we have created two arrays in a single list. Okay. Now let's just print it as it is. So in order to print it onto the console, just we are going to write print followed by the variable name, and here it would be list2. Okay. Now when we execute this program, we are getting our arrays printed. Now comes the special part. Now, if you want to know the place value of this particular array, it would be 0, right? As I already mentioned that indexing in Python starts from 0. Here it is considering this particular bracket as a single entity. So when you write 0 over here and run the command, you're getting the first bracket which is getting printed over here. Now when you change the 0 by 1 and run the command 1 again, you are getting the second array printed over there. Alright. If you want to traverse a single element line by line, so what you can do, let's say I am targeting Hindi over here, right? So let's say English for now. So the first would be, this is 0 and this is 1, right? Now the elements, I would create another bracket for it. And let's say I want to print G over the console. So what we will be doing, we are just going to write the placeholder value of it. So what it would be 0, 1, 2. So G, the placeholder value of G would be 2. So I'll write 2 over here. And when I run this particular command, so let's say, let me clear this particular console and run it once again. So we are getting Spanish over here. Let me check. Okay, so basically what it is doing, it is considering, it is running in a such a way like it is considering this particular array. It took, when I enter 1 over here, right, it is taking 1. So this is the first, this bracket is 0 and this bracket is 1, right? So it took this particular array, and from that array it is taking second element, that is 0, 1, 2. Okay, now moving forward with this thing as well. Now what if I do something like this, if I take 0 over here and make this particular thing as 2, and when I run this particular command, now we are getting G. So we are just breaking down things. Okay, first of all what we do, okay, I'll just write it down in the comment so that it would be easier for you to understand. So right, see, this is the variable which we created, this is the structure for it. Okay, we created one bracket and we wrote array 1, and then we created another array, and this is array 2. Simple. Now when we break this particular thing once again, what are we getting? See, now I'll be separating these two arrays over here. So when I type array 1, so this is considering that array 1 has few values, and then it is also considering that array 2 has few values. Now in array 1, what are the values that we have stored over here? So these are the value which we have stored over the array, and this is the value which we have printed on the second array. Okay, so now let me create this thing, and when I paste this, so this is the entire structure that we have done. Now debugging the program, how it is executing. So on list2 is the variable name. Then what is on stored in the first element? So first element would be the array 2. Why? Because this is the bracket 1 and this is 2. So let me write the index value as well so that you can understand it better way. So this is the 0th value, and then yeah, and this is the first value. Okay, Now, how it is traversing? So this is the 0, this is 1, right? So 1, this is 1, right? And now moving forward to the second element. That is, consider this particular element, okay? Zeroth element, which means we are targeting to English, and from that we are just breaking English into a few segments, right? So here the placeholder value of 0 would be E, 1 would be N, and 2 would be G. Let us take another example for this particular thing. Let us target Spanish for this particular thing. So what would be your print statement would be like? It would be print name of the variable, that is list, and let us write the first array, that is this is 0 and this is 1. So in the same sense, this entire bracket is 0, this entire bracket is in 1. And then we are going to specify the value. So here this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So here I'll be typing 2 over here. Now which particular letter I am targeting to? So let's say I am targeting I over here. Okay, I am taking any random alphabet from here. So what is the placeholder value of I? So S0, P1, A2, N3, I4. So here I would be writing 4. And now when I execute the program, I am expecting that the output will print I. And as per our expectation, it is printing I over here, right? All right. Let me comment down this array as well and the print statement as well. I want to show you one more thing which can be done on the previous array. Let me recommend this thing out, and I just wanted to show you what if you want to print the string, the list into a reverse manner, right? So how it can be done? Just need to type list and then followed by a -1. That's it. And then it is showing us the value as 39.6. Why it is doing so? Let us debug this thing as well. So see why it is doing so, because we have written -1, which means it will be starting it indexing from the end position, right? Now in order to print anything into a reverse manner, we are going to write two dots over here, and when we execute this particular thing, the string is getting printed onto the console in a reverse manner, right? So this is how the flow is going on over here, right? Okay. I hope this session is very fruitful for you and you have understand the concept. If you want to take me another example, let me create that thing as well for you. Let me create another example for you. We are going to create a fresh problem for this particular thing in order to understand in a very greater manner. So let me create another variable for it. So it would be alphabets. So we have created alphabets variable and we are going to store some values over here. So let us write A. This is A, C, B, D. Okay, so we have created these alphabets and stored it into the list, right? Okay, let me do something like this. Okay, this would be great. Okay, yeah. Now, when I print alphabets onto the console, I just need to specify the name of the variable, and when I run this program, I'm getting the output, right? So I have done some mistake over here. Let me rectify that thing as well. I'm getting BC printed over one thing. Why? Because I have not separated it with the comma. So when I put the comma and rerun the program once again, I'm getting the output which is expected from our end. Okay. Now let us target the elements one by one. So now when I target C over here, what is the placeholder value? So placeholder value, the indexing in the Python starts from 0, right? So A is 0, 1, 2. So C would be 2. And when I run the program, it is printing C over there, right? Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are just considering this particular part into one array and we are going to create another array for it. Now we are going to write, we are taking a numeric number over here. So 1, 3, 6, 9, 10. And now let me comment this thing out. And now when I print this particular command and I type alphabets, and when I want to target the second array, I just write 1 over here because indexing this particular array would be acting as 0 and this will be acting as 1. So when I print alphabets with square brackets 1, it will be printing the second array. right? And now when I want to target a specific element of the array, what I would be doing, so my steps would be like, as I mentioned, that this is not the area that we are targeting to, right? So this is already considered as 0. Now this is the area that I am targeting to, and this is 1, right? So this is the placeholder value 1. And now if I want to print 9, right? So what would be my initial step? It would be starting from the 0th element, right? So here 0, 1, 2, 3. So when I write 3 over here, my work is done, and as per our expectation, the console should print 9, and it is printing 9, right? Now what if I want to print the last element of the particular list, right? So what how it can be done? I'm just going to write print over here, and I'll specify the variable name followed by a square bracket and a negative one. So this will print the entire array which is written in numeric form. Let us run this, and we're getting the array over here. What if I want to print this particular list into a reverse manner? I'm just going to tap two dots over here. Let me know the name, because I'm not sure what is the name of that particular symbol, right? So if you know what the name of that particular symbol is, please let me know. So when I run this particular statement, I'm getting the array printed in a reverse manner. So this is how we can print the list into a reverse manner. We have what we have done, we have created a list, and then we have created two arrays over here. Okay, and both are of different kind of data types. One is containing characters, and one is containing integer, right? If you want to like increase the length of the string, you can do it. If you want to increase the length of list, you can definitely do it. All right, so this is the here we have done two part, that is we have created a list, and then we have created two arrays over there, right? Okay, I hope you got today's lecture, and if you face any issues, please let me know into the comments. Okay, see you in the next lecture. Bye bye.